Calvin Harris makes peace with Taylor Swift.
Did Ariana just tease a new song with Calvin?
And what will Zayn include in his new autobiography?
All that and more on today's Rundown.
We may have some details on who will be performing at this year's Super Bowl later in the show.
I heard it's really, really big. But first off, we gotta talk about Zayn Malik and his brand new autobiography. So we gotta talk about Zayn, but not Zayn. Zayn.
I'm confused.
It's the title of a brand new book by Zayn.
Okay.
Called Zayn.
Inception.
Yes, exactly. And it hits bookstores on November 1st. So in the book, we're gonna get personal stories, notes, drawings, and just thoughts in general, basically laying out Zayn's entire story from growing up in England to hitting it big on the X Factor and beyond. Now, we only got a little bit of information about what we can expect, but we did get the cover art, and it's totally got Zayn's dapper, modern, sleek sophistication. I love it. It's written all over it. It's his gorgeous face with a big, bold Z. For sure, Gigi is super proud of her boo too, and in her latest interview with ES Mag, she opened up about what turns her on most about Zayn, and it's how intelligent he is. She said, quote, "I would say his brain. For the first time, we were both in a relationship where we have very similar interests outside of work, and that is really important." She goes on to talk about how they have so much fun doing like art projects and cooking together, and like reading and watching TV.
I wonder if he talks about her in his new book.
I'm sure he
Or
does.
his ex, Perry Edwards. You know, I know that sometimes celebrities can't talk about other celebrities because those other people could sue them if they said something that was incorrect.
Right.
So I wonder how much tea he's going to be able to spill about other relationships, other members of the band as well. But I bet you this autobiography is going to be like #1 on, what is the book rating system? I don't know. We don't read, but it's going to be #1 wherever it is. All right, guys, so Calvin Harris may have made amends with Taylor Swift, kind of, sort of. So you guys know they've had such a tumultuous breakup. He has not been silent about how unhappy he was with how their breakup went down in public. He's tweeted about it. Of course, you'll remember that Calvin did not thank Taylor when he accepted his VMA for This Is What You Came For, which she did co-write. So that was like a little strange, but it seems like he might be letting the past stay in the past. So last Friday, Taylor Swift was at New York Fashion Week supporting Gigi Hadid on the runway, and Taylor was lip syncing to This Is What You Came For, which is very surprising because she hadn't posted anything for like 2 weeks before that post happened. And then we're finding out today that Calvin Harris actually liked that post. And some sources are telling outlets that Calvin is finally getting over Taylor, and that is the reason why he's reached out to extend the olive branch to like this photo. A source close to E! News has said that Calvin is finally, quote, in a much better place after the breakup with Taylor. But I'm not so sure because his new song, his new track called My Way, is coming out in 2 days. I speculate that this is all to stir up some buzz about this new song. I feel like he wants to milk this to get as many downloads as possible, but I'm also a conspiracy theorist. You guys know that about me. But speaking of his song, My Way, he is not the only person in the world who has a song called My Way. Ariana Grande has a song called My Way, and a lot of Arianators are thinking that they're collaborating on a remix of the song together, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna happen because Ariana took to Snapchat to post these videos, basically telling everyone that it's just a coincidence.
So I have a song called My Way.
I also have a song called My Way.
But they're not the same song.
not the same
That
song.
sucks, guys. Sorry. Have a good one.
Unless it is the same.
I've been seeing everyone wonder if it's me on the Calvin Harris song My Way, and I really am sorry to disappoint, but it's not. They're 2 different songs, and I'm sorry about that. But how good would it have been if it were our song? Because we both just did Seacrest on the same time. That's crazy. I'm sorry.
All right, well, speaking of Ariana Grande, she is in the news a lot right now. First up, she's got a tour coming out, her Dangerous Woman tour. So she's doing tons of press for that. She also has a new relationship with Mac Miller that is clearly no secret at all. And Naya Rivera, who is Big Sean's ex-fiance, we all know that Ariana and Big Sean dated for a minute there. She is also opening up about Ariana in her new memoir, saying she walked into Big Sean's house and found Ariana sitting there, cross-legged, listening to music. Let's break it all down. There's so much, I can't even handle it. First up, Ariana sat down with Ellen DeGeneres on The Ellen Show and talked about her side-to-side video. and how this whole song is becoming kind of a big hot topic because of its very questionable lyrics, including dick bicycle. So Ellen was not gonna let that go. She asked Ariana what it really means, and Ari had a hard time explaining.
You know, I was on the bike, I sang, that happened, and you know.
This is totally different than the Hillary interview.
When Ellen asked Ariana about Mac Miller, Ariana had a really hard time responding to that as well and said this is the first time she's had to talk about a relationship on a talk show. And surprisingly enough, Ariana has really tried to keep this on the DL, even though her Instagram posts and tweets are like, yeah, we're clearly together. But I heard her on Ryan Seacrest this morning too, and she was like, I didn't confirm anything. Ryan, stop asking me, stop asking me. So I feel like she's trying, kind of, to keep her relationship.
I think it's silly though, because we all know, and Ellen got her to admit it when she questioned her about the relationship during that interview.
But you're with him, right? And you're happy and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Good, okay.
Thanks.
That's good, good talk.
All right, last but not least, Naya Rivera's new memoir kind of opens up a lot about,
Spills the tea.
yes, so much tea. I mean, there's tea like dripping all over the place. She talks about her feud with Leah Michelle, tons of good stuff. But the biggest story here is that she really, truly believes that her ex-fiance was cheating on her. And she did at the time. That's kind of why they broke up, so we had heard.
Yeah.
She says that like after 5 days of fighting with him, he'd been traveling, she came home and she wanted to see him. He flat out said, I don't want to see you today, but she had an extra key to his house. So being my favorite type of woman ever, she went over there anyway. And when she walked in, she said she saw some little girl cross-legged on the couch listening to music, and then she was like, I'm not gonna say her name, but just in case you want a hint, it rhymes with Smariana Schmonday.
Wow.
I love it.
But that doesn't mean that Ariana was having sex
No,
with Sean.
it
Like,
doesn't.
they could have been working on music together. Like, you have no idea what that means, but it is a little fishy. If I were Naya, I would have gotten out of there too.
Yeah, I mean, right after they broke up, he started dating Ariana. It all seems a little too close for comfort.
So she's on the right track, baby, and she is headed to the Super Bowl. At least we hope so / think so. So this Super Bowl halftime show is like the epitome of a musician's career. It's one of like the boxes you check when you become a singer. And a lot of amazing acts have performed at the Super Bowl. Beyonce, I mean, the list is like Katy Perry, goes on. And of course we heard that Adele was being sought after to perform, but she turned it down. A lot of people were saying that Britney Spears possibly could perform, but I don't think she wants to do it, at least by herself. So the Super Bowl, there are rumors that the Super Bowl folks have talked to Lady Gaga about performing at the Super Bowl this year. And we think that she would be the perfect choice to hit the stage in 2017 in Houston. She absolutely nailed the national anthem to last year's opening big game. And because of that performance, the NFL kind of vetted her to try to perform for this. When asked about the Gaga rumor, NFL said this: we have had conversations with several fantastic artists about the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show. However, at this point, we do not have a final decision. We're happy there is so much excitement about the show. This is a big year for Gaga. There's going to be an album release really soon. People love Perfect Illusion. I think this is a great opportunity for her to do something that she hasn't really done before. And I think she's such a great performer. I've seen her in concert. She's electric. This would be the perfect halftime show. So do you guys think that Calvin Harris and Taylor Swift have really kissed and made up and they're friendly now? Or do you think this is a PR stunt like I do?
What? You do?
Conspiracy theorists.
All right, fine. I definitely do not. Long live Taven, forever and ever and ever. Amen. But you guys, what about Super Bowl? If it's not Gaga, which I actually really do hope it is.
I do too.
Who else would you love to see perform at the
Halftime show. That's what it is.
Halftime show.
Also, Sinead and I, we are singers, so if you want to say us in the comments, you can too as well.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching DHR every single freaking day. Thanks for sharing it with all your friends and liking this video. You guys are awesome. We'll see you later. Rumor has it Kesha's making new music with Taylor Swift, and we have those details in the box on the left.
Or you can click to the right to see what Katy Perry just tweeted about Taylor Swift.